Madison Square Garden. This is a big, beautiful place. I didn't care. Although they prefer that we meet in an arena. I don't know why. But we're not giving up the outdoor rallies. You know, all those people that we had to turn away today at an outdoor rally, we had 107,000 people show up in New Jersey. And you know, in the South Bronx, we had 25,000 people. It's like a tough place.
I was like, you were there.
No matter how much Kamala Harris tries to change her image, she cannot change this fact. She is the most extreme liberal candidate in the history of our country by far. She's an extreme radical left lunatic. And you know, I've been saying for the last 6 months, I've been saying about politicians, because I really know politicians. Well, I've dealt with them on both sides, and then I said, let's do this. Thank you. But when a politician comes out early on with an idea like she wants to defund the police and all these other things she wants to do, really bad things, that's where they're at. They're going to be there eventually, right? Mike Kelly, stand up, Mike. This guy, he used to stand up, my friend. He endorsed me on day one, right? Day one. He endorsed me before I was running. He said, that guy's got to run. I endorsed him. I didn't even run. How many endorsements do I have? Well, you got Kelly of Pennsylvania. I wasn't running. Anyway, thank you, Mike. I appreciate it. He would stand out at those outdoor rallies when it was 10 degrees below zero and it was 97 degrees out without a shirt on. It's not that pretty a sight. Not pretty, but he had no fear. He's a tough guy and they love him. They love you in this state. Kamala Harris co-sponsored Bernie Sanders' $32 trillion socialist takeover of the entire U.S. health care system. Think of this, U.S. health care, it would mean that we're gonna have to raise your taxes, bankrupt our country, and she supported outlawing all of the private health insurance. A lot of people in this room have some people want private health. Some of it's incredible. You go to these companies, they're doing an incredible job. They want to be able to, she wants that banned and she wants that outlawed. You can't find that anymore. You're paying for it, but it's great stuff. I mean, some of the companies have unbelievable, the golden plans and all that, and she wants it to be ended. She pledged to give free taxpayer-funded health care to all illegal aliens. Think of that. Which will totally destroy our social security system. She sponsored a bill to give illegal aliens taxpayer-funded lawyers so they can sue us. And she called for abolishing ICE. These are unbelievable patriots, by the way. They're almost as tough as our congressman sitting in the front. They're almost as tough as the man that's going to be your next governor, by the way. He's tough. He's tough. He's a great military hero. And he'll come up. I'm allowed to have him up for a little while, right? Just a couple of minutes, right? He's great. He's great. And I hear you doing very well. You get ready, you gotta knock them dead. She compared ICE agents to members of the KKK. She likened Border Patrol agents to practitioners of human slavery. We have a lot of those great people here tonight, like Brandon Judd, the head of the union. Paul, we have so many different people, and they didn't like that analogy too much. She voted in favor of deadly sanctuary cities numerous times. She supports open borders, that's all you'd have to hear. I think 2 words, they say, sure, go down a list. We have a list of 25 things. All you really have to say is 2 things. Open borders, defund the police. The rest is all, but although she is gonna kill Social Security, because by putting all of these illegal aliens into Social Security, it's dead. It's dead. She opposes even saying the words illegal alien and radical Islamic terrorists. She backs mass amnesty, and citizenship for all illegals. She supports mandatory gun confiscation. Would anybody mind, Mr. Congressman, would they mind having their guns ripped out of their arms as they enter their house? I don't think so. She said that 70 to 80% tax rate is, quote, a very bold idea, something that we have to discuss very seriously, she might say. And you know, all my life I've watched politicians, and they've always said, we will reduce your taxes, we will reduce your taxes, we will cut your taxes. They want to give you a tax increase of 5 times what you're paying now. How the hell do you get elected? This country is so screwed up. Everything's backwards. We want open border, we want taxing. How would you like to be a politician? We want open borders, we want tax increases, we want all electric cars so that you can go 15 minutes before you charge it. And for all the congressmen that are here, in the Midwest, they built 8 charging stations. Now, you know what that is? That's like a gas pump with electricity coming out. Just a charging terminal. It cost $9 million. Did you hear that, Mike? Did you hear that? Scott, he's another tough. We got tough congressmen. These are tough cookies, these Pennsylvania guys. Wow.
Yeah!
So they spent $9 billion on 8 charging stations, 2 of which never worked. I don't think any of them worked. She wants government intervention to slash consumption of red meat. They don't want red meat. That means they don't want your cows. Get rid of your cows. Would anybody like to keep red meat? Raise your hand. You know, think of it. Borders, electric mandate, and all of the red meat. Well, how the hell do you get elected? You know how they got elected? By cheating. They got elected by cheating. Because nobody, they want to raise your taxes by 5 times. Oh, please vote for me. I'm going to raise your taxes 5 times, right? Great. But the red meat is to fight climate change. Climate change. She supports ending cash bail to immediately release criminals upon arrest. They kill somebody, no bail, don't worry about it, no cash. You know, you just killed 3 people, let's let them out in Harrisburg. It's a wonderful place. And in 2020, she personally urged her followers to donate money to bail out the violent rioters, get them right out of jail, including murderers. You know what that was all about, right? In Minnesota, which I think we have a good chance of winning. Hasn't been won since 1972 by Alabama. And we're leading. Tom Emmer's going to bring that one home, they tell me. He's going to bring it home. This November, the American people are going to reject Kamala Harris's dangerous liberal extremism in a massive landslide. We're going to, too big to rig, right? Too big to rig. Too big to rig. We're not going to let her turn the United States into a communist San Francisco colony. We're not going to let it happen. That's what they want to do. They want to destroy our country. She's the worst. She was a bad DA long before you had your DA, long before you had some of these DAs that you have, as you know, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, but in Los Angeles, all over the place. All over the place. You have bad DAs, you have radical left, horrible DAs that are funded by Soros and others, and they're weak, they're just weak on crime. They don't mind if somebody murders somebody. They don't want them to go to jail. You can kill somebody now. Our country is sick. The mindset of our country is sick. And we're not going to let her do to Pennsylvania what she did to California. She destroyed San Francisco. One of the best cities in the world, and it's Paris. So she's a liberal from California. She ruined the state. She ruined this one of the greatest cities in the world. You know, 15 years ago, a great friend of mine, Bob Tisch, great guy, he was an owner of the New York Giants, and a very smart guy, wonderful guy too. Maybe even longer, a little longer than 15. He said San Francisco is the best city in our country. And today it's a disaster, just a disaster. He passed away quite a while ago, and he would look down and say, what the hell happened to that city? But he thought San Francisco was one of the greats. He thought Chicago was one of the greats. You know, Chicago, on July 4th weekend, had 117 shootings and 17 people died. Think of it. This is not even believable. When you hear about Afghanistan and the horrible job that this president did with Afghanistan, a low point, but they don't have anything like that. In one of the most astoundingly phony moments in her speech last night, Kamala Harris bragged and quote, "I will proudly put my record against Donald Trump's 8 days a week. I will put it against Trump."
What a joke.
Got one of the worst records in anywhere. Well, Kamala, let's go. Challenge accepted. Are you ready? I mean, 2 weeks ago I was talking about Biden. I didn't even know her name. Nobody did. I didn't even know her name. Kamala. I heard she was a rotten porn star, and that's about all I knew about her. Her only job was the water, and she never went there.